I have to make decisions that sponsor that anointing. All right. So I'm telling you that now. For those of you all who are hearing my voice today, hit up Dr. Raphael Spiller, man. He is online right now. I guarantee you he is going to change your life. He is going to transform your life. Hear me when I say this now. He is going to change your life. He is going to transform your life. I do believe in this season, man, there's going to be an awakening that is outside of the church for individuals who are consciously aware of who they are as God. And God is going to show himself strong in this season, even in the time of famine. He is going to show himself strong. But there is one prerequisite for you. You must love yourself enough to remove yourself out of the hand of anyone else who determines your future. And you must make choices to change your future today. I love you too, man. I love you, man, so much, bro. It ain't, man. Words can't even explain. Even when me and you don't talk, man, I guarantee you. Man, I still hear you, man. I still hear your voice, man. And you will forever be my rabbi, dude. You will forever be my rabbi, man. I love you, bro. For real, for real, for real. Y'all, go hit up Dr. Raphael Spiller, man. I love y'all. Go look at the video that I just posted by Dr. Spiller in regards to the virus and the prophetic word that comes with this season. Allow it to prepare you and allow it to put you in position so that you can prosper. Don't be foolish in this season. Don't be foolish. Be prepared. All right? Love you all.
Hi, everybody. This is something that I've been led to do by the Spirit of God, and I'm hoping that you will be interested in letting me show you how God is positioning so many people to make money. And if you're up this late at night, then cool. If you're not, then it's on you. This is what I'm going to do. Just going to go over some Forex basics. All right, I'm going to show you what the enemy doesn't want you to know. I'm going to show you what the enemy doesn't want you to know. I'm going to show you what the enemy doesn't want you to know. Okay? I'm going to show you what the enemy doesn't want you to know. He doesn't want you to be in the know. He wants to continue to control your finances. He doesn't want you to be in the know. He wants to control your finances. But we are breaking that spirit. in this Forex basic course. What I'm going to do in this Forex basic course is just kind of show you some basics on what we're doing and how we do what we do. And I'm hoping that this will illuminate you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it from scratch. Those of you who want to learn more of this, you can contact me and I'll teach you more. But there's been such a taboo on trading, on understanding it. There's been a lot of hype and crap that people sell about trading. And it's not as easy as people would want it to be. It's just not. And if anyone tells you it's easy, they're lying. What makes it easy is mentorship. Write this down. Mentorship is wisdom without the pain. What is mentorship? It is wisdom. That's what it is. But it's wisdom without the pain. And I have been prepared for such a time as this to mentor you into your position of wealth. So when you start talking about mentorship, what is mentorship? It is wisdom without the pain. I have went through all of the hard experiences for you. I've lost money, thousands upon thousands of dollars in the market because I didn't know what I was doing. But I did that for you. I was persecuted for you. I had no mentor. I had no one to coach me, no one to train me. I felt so alone, but God. Someone said this to me: if you ever want to be special at anything, you must put in 10,000 hours. Did you know that? If you want to be special at anything, right? If you want to become a specialist, you must put in 10,000 hours. And that's what I've done. I put in 10,000 hours. I want to make sure you hear me. I put in 10,000 hours. I did this day and night. I've been up 24 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. I've been studying this, wanting to understand it because I knew that this day was coming. I knew that this time was coming. And I'm doing it, hopefully, for you. Let me explain to you the elementary principles of the market. All right? It's very simple. Now it is. All right? Every market has what we call a ceiling. Not only does the market have a ceiling, it has a floor. Every market does. It has the ceiling, it has the floor. Your job is to determine where is the ceiling. Your job is to determine where is the floor. If we can get you to find out where the ceiling is and where the floor is, you can make money in Forex. This was the hardest thing for me to understand. Where is the floor at? Where is the ceiling at? Because the market, which will be represented by this red line, moves from the floor to the ceiling, and from the ceiling to the floor, and from the floor to the ceiling, and from the ceiling to the floor. That's all the market does, guys. I know we want it to be deeper than that, but it's really not. It's really not deeper than that. It's just that simple. That's how simple this is. From the ceiling to the floor. Hold up 1 second. Don't be. I must have did something here. That's how simple this is. From the ceiling to the floor. Hold on one second. One second. Yeah, from the ceiling to the floor, from the floor to the ceiling. That's all. It's not deep like people want it to be. It's just that simple. Now, I need you to understand something. The one thing that stops people like you and I from mastering this, it's one word. Y'all ready? This is the one thing that stops a person from becoming rich. It's poverty of soul. It's the poverty of the soul that stops you from tapping into your God-given flow, the poverty of soul. Now, when you say the poverty of soul, Dr. Spiller, what do you mean the poverty of soul? Glad you asked. We were born rich. The problem is that even though we were born to be rich, the number one problem that we have is that we were raised to be poor. There was no real economic counsel on how we should live our lives. The average person has never received economic counsel. Economic counsel. They don't focus on it in school. They didn't focus on it in your house. See, you were born rich. God made sure that you had everything you needed to prosper. The problem is that he gave you a mother and father who never learned how to connect to that level of prosperity. The poverty of soul. The poverty of soul, watch this now, sees barriers only. That's the only thing that the poverty of soul sees. All it sees is barriers. Barriers like, I don't have time. I don't have time. That sounds hard. It doesn't interest me. Now with the coronavirus, you're going to find out that more people had time than they thought they had. See, the poverty of soul shows you barriers and roadblocks and limitations. But when you tap into the richness of who you are, you don't see those things. When you tap into the richness of who you are, all you see is opportunities. The difference between the rich and the poor is poor sees barriers, rich sees opportunities. That's it. I don't care what any, look. When you are born rich, all you see is opportunities. Opportunities, 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 opportunities. That's all you see is opportunities. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you a light class on Forex. Something that we should have learned, something that we should have grasped. When I teach this, I teach it from a simple disposition. Very simple. And I have drew these markers for you to see. So what I've done here is this red bar going across here is actually my ceiling. And this blue down here is actually my floor. So one of the things I do is I gave my students an indicator that will find the ceiling and that would find the floor for them. And they know that they only trade between the ceiling and the floor. In other words, they wait for price to get to a floor, which is a low, and they buy low. Yep, they buy down here, right? And then they sell when it hits the ceiling, and they make money coming back down. Let me show you what I prophesied to the nation about our economy. This is what we call our economy, US 30. This is where everybody's money was, 401ks and all of this. I prophesied 2017, once I learned how to trade, that we were at a crust right here. I told everybody that right here, and what you said, well, what am I looking at? Let's do it this way so you can see it even better. Let's take these candles out. Let's put a line there. I told the country, I told the nation, I told everybody, pastors, prophets, apostles, teachers, evangelists, I told all of them that we were at a ceiling, that our economy was at a ceiling. And people was like, oh, but it's growing. I said, but we're at a ceiling. And because I learned this skill, I knew that when Trump was in office and the economy broke this particular place and it went even higher to right here, I told everybody that this was a concept that we call divergent. And I said that all you need to do is wait for it to get to a high place because it's going to fall. And boy, did it fall. And boy, did it fall. And boy, did it fall. We've had the biggest drop in our economy that started right here. It found a ceiling and it's in the floor right now. And we don't know how far down this is going to go. To actually be honest with you, the economy could drop to this point. It could come all the way down here. And if it does that, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a true recession. If it does that, ladies and gentlemen, we're already in a recession. If it breaks this low, right, you better have some money stacked and stored somewhere else because it's going to start affecting everything. But I told them, I said, the time is coming. And here was the collapse right here. That's the collapse. That was the collapse right here. The collapse occurred. Now, this is what I was prophesying. I didn't prophesy out of the, I didn't give a word or whatever you want to call it, fortune telling. I don't care, whatever you want to call it. I didn't do that out of having some tangible proof of what I knew was going to happen. And we're seeing it happen right now, right in front of us. This drop off that I predicted in 2017. Look. This is 2000. Let's go back to 2017. 2017, the economy was here. 2018. This is 2017. We were here. And I started saying, I said, guys, when this joker gets up here, right, we're going to have some issues. So it got there in 2018, 2019, 2000, right into that, and then broke through. And then I said, don't pay attention to that. That's a lie. That's a lie. And that's what we had right there. That's what we had. That's our economy. And that's why you have to have someone around you, connected to you, that has their ears to the street as it pertains to, we were so carefree, just going around, not even thinking, just thinking that everything was going to be okay and everything was going to be fine. But then you had people like me who was looking at the market and said, oh my God, this is divergent. This is divergent. Let's go back to the market. I want to show you something just today. All right, so we find ceilings. We find floors. We don't trade in between them. We wait. Now, there is something called investor sentiment. It's the bias of the market. It's the bias of the market. And when I talk about bias, it's where we believe the market's going to go. Now, I want to show you this. This is very important. You can take an indicator like this one. This is one of the things I just teach. You want to know where the bias of the market is, so you know who's in control. And so we use a tool. This is just a basic one. It's not the best one at all, but it's just one that I use. We use this tool here, the relative strength index, to kind of give us what the market is thinking in an overall fashion. And what I want you to see here, you always have to know who's in control of the market at any given time. So this is a relative strength index. And what it's telling me is, you see this line right here? This is the line between the buyers and the sellers. So when this yellow line is below this line, sellers are in control. When this line is above it, buyers are in control. And what we attempt to do in situations like this, is we try to predict what we think the market is going to do based upon the sentiment of the market, So when we talk about the sentiment of the market, you can look at this and see who's in control. Who's in control of GBP, JPY? Right? Sellers. Why? It's below that level. So if sellers are in control, now you see when it got to hit the ceiling and you see this move to the downside, you see the price, you see these candles going down. Let's do it this way for more simpler. You see this line going down. So like a line chart, you see it. It makes it easier, especially for students who don't know what they're looking at. And so you see prices here, and then it just starts flowing down, right? Now it's found the floor. The question that we're going to ask ourselves is, are we going to look for a buy here? Now, why would I look for a buy? Why would I look for a buy when the overall bias of the market is a sell? I need something to show me that buyers have come back in this market before I look for a buy. But right now, what I should be looking for is a sell. I should only be looking to sell based upon the sentiment of the market. I should be only looking to sell this currency pair. You're like, sell? What is he talking about? That's why you need to get connected, right? Know the sentiment of the market. I've given indicators like the TDI. That's one that I'm teaching on right now. And it gives you over here to tell you what the trending is in the market, right? Or where the market is moving or what general direction the market is flowing in. But you want to know that before you begin. The first thing you want to say is who's in control? Who is in control? Are the buyers or the sellers? Who's in control? Buyers or sellers? Who's in control? That's what we're asking. Who's in control? The buyers or the sellers? That's what we want to know. That's the overall objective. Who's in control? Buyers or sellers? Sellers or buyers? Who's in control? Right? And that's the first thing you want to do when you log in. Who's in control? Well, the sentiment is toward the sellers. So I have a higher trade probability if I look for a sale. Now, what do it mean if I look for a sale? Glad you asked. Now, watch this. This is where it gets really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm here and I'm looking to say, okay, I want to buy this opportunity, right? Because it's at the floor. But I can't buy this opportunity unless the market tells me I'm in position for a good buy. Now, here's a tip. And I've given this to my students in manuals where they can read it. You see this box? There's the top of the box. There's the bottom of the box. Price can actually come through the bottom of this box and go lower. It could go lower, right? Now I want to show you something. This is very important. I hope you catch this. So say we have a ceiling. Say we have a floor. This is a ceiling, this is the floor. Let's say you have price coming down to the floor. But it doesn't have to stop at the floor. Just because it gets to the floor don't mean to stop. Sometimes it'll break the floor, right? And if it breaks the floor, right here is the break of the floor. What it'll do is come back and test, because this is not the floor anymore. This has actually become the ceiling. And when it comes back up, this has become the new floor. It'll test the ceiling only to come down to test the new floor. So this is how traders like myself and others look at the market to say, okay, if it breaks this floor, let's say it comes down and break here. Remember, the bottom of the supply demand is the actual base of the floor. It can come back and test this, which is now the new ceiling, only to go down and look for a new floor. And we teach you how to do that too, right? Because just because it's at the floor don't mean it's going to turn around. It could go up a little bit, but not enough for you to actually take a trade. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? So we know who's in control. We know that the sellers are in this thing, and they're strong right now because it's under the RSI 50 level line. You could use a MACD. It'll be under it on the MACD. If you use the MACD, it'll be the same. They will all be under, right? Right? It'll all be under. Show something. If I went in over here and I put another moving average convergence divergence on here, I can tell you that the MACD again is underneath. Let me do this way. Reset, add parameters, reset, bam. I think I did it wrong. Hold on for a second. Right? And you see, even with the MACD, who's in control, sellers are. So the higher probable chance is that you're looking for a sell unless it gives you indication that it's going to go into a buy. But what we do is we teach the basics, right? We want you to understand, number one, who's in control of the market, and we want to trade with who's in control. We want them to give us the opportunity, right, to see what's going on. We don't have enough money to deal with the big banks and the people that have a lot of money. We don't, but we can look at this and make a decision, right? And we use these all the time. These are some of the tips and the skills that I use to teach people how to be able to make money in the market, right? Does it take time? Yes, it does, but you can get it when you first get involved. I get people all the time, I don't know why I'm losing. I don't know I'm losing. All right, where is the trend? Where's the trend? Is it going up or is it going down? Wherever the trend is going to be your higher probability trades, right? If you go against the trend, you're going to lose more than you're going to win. Oftentimes, you can lose more than you win. But if you stay with the trend, wherever the trend is flowing, in this case, the trend is flowing down, you should be looking to sell this particular market. Because the trend is going down, you're looking to sell this particular market. Well, Doc, it found a floor. Shouldn't I be looking for a buy? Who's in control? Who's in control? Why would you look for a buy when they're clearly not in control? Look at the MACD. You still see the MACD moving in the direction for the sellers. So you're not looking to buy here. You have nothing. You have nothing, absolutely nothing to say that you should be looking for a buy in this situation. And another things that we use is volume. So we may use the RSI. We may use the MACD. But another thing that we use is volume. You got to have something with some form of volume in it, right? And so for volume, we use something like the money flow, right? And with the money flow, hold on, let me show you how this looks. This is just a volume indicator to let you know where the money is. Give me a second. So we use another one called volume, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second, okay? All right, this is volume. Now, do you see where volume is? Volume is way down here below the 20 level. So because it's below the 20 level, I know that there's not a reason to start looking for a buy. This is too low, right? It's too low. Now, if it breaks this 20 level starting to go up, and then we have this RSI going up, then I start looking for a buy opportunity because buyers are now in the market. The bias is leaning towards this, moving in an upward direction. And that's how we do it, guys. It's not as difficult as it seems. Now, one of the things that I've done is I've created my own software where some of the things that I do, as you see it here, this is what I've done. I've created my own, right? And when this line is red, I'm selling. Right, you can see it. I'm selling right here, right now. And one of the things I want to be able to tell you is that you can do this. You just be able to have to start here. So we start with the basics. Now, everybody wants to get this fast. Now, how many of y'all have given 10 years to your job? How many of y'all have given 10 years to your job or 20 years to your job and you're still broke? Right? How many of you given 30 years to your job and you're still financially struggling? Right? Now, if you've given any of this time frame to your jobs, and none of your jobs have made you rich, why on earth do you think you can come into what we're doing and there's going to be a difference and there's going to be a change? It doesn't work like that, guys. You have to make sure that you're coming out of this box. This box doesn't work. This box has entrapped so many people. So many people have been entrapped in this box. Did you hear what I said? So many people have been entrapped in this box. You don't need to be trapped in this box. You don't. You need to come out of this box right now. This box has held so many people back from actually being in a position, right, where they are living their best life, but they can't get out of this box. They cannot get out of this box. And this box is called employment. If it don't look like a job, then I can't see myself giving myself to it. If it don't look like a job, I can't see myself giving myself to it, but I'll give 20, 30, 40, 50 years to someone who has never paid me enough to be able to get out on my own and take care of myself. Guys, you can learn this. It's simple, it's easy, it's not difficult. You can learn this, right? And it's just starting with the basics, right? Like, where's the trend? That's the first thing we ask. I teach my students, where's the trend? Let's trade with the trend. You get high probability setups, right? Right. Who's in control of the market, buyers or sellers? Because that's where that trend is. But who's in control at that present time, right? So you need something to show where you're in control, right? And so some people use this indicator, the RSI, to do that. Then the next thing you want to after control is, where's the volume? Is the volume with the buyers or the sellers? In this case, we use something called the money flow index, right? And this is this indicator here, right? So we're looking at the volume. We see this. We see the sellers are there. We're looking for a sell opportunity, not a buy, just by edging this out, right? And then some people use what we call candlestick patterns. These candlestick patterns work. They work, and they work tremendously to help you to take your trade to the next level. Guys, you can learn this, right? The trend, who's in control, where's the volume, right? And you go from there. Like right now, you're like, okay, is this a sell? Is this going to break this level here? And a candle going to come down here and close down here, which is going to allow this sell to continue. If that's the case, then that's what I want. Okay, guys, my internet just went down. Can y'all hear me?